What up, world? We are back. 4th and 20 Sports. Fix that right there. We are back, ready to go. Ready to go live, as they say. 4th and 20 Sports here in WBLZ Sports, where we got balls. What is up? You are here with your boy, your favorite host, AJ Johnson. And over to my right, the Punisher. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Max Todd, how you doing today, man? You doing all right?
Feeling good.
You looking good. You look like the. Actually, I would like to take a second and give it up to you, man. You are one of the surviving New Year's resolution people.
Yes.
All those people who weren't in the gym and who didn't want to be in the gym.
What was happening?
We'll just take a moment.
I don't know what that was, everybody. I'm sorry. My phone was off, and now it's on.
See that, man? I can't even give this man a compliment without him trying to prank me. All I wanted to do.
I had that queued up for weeks, though, when you were going to compliment me. I was like, oh. I blew it.
You're like the scene with the father that has the cigars and the confetti and the clown falling out of the closet.
Where's the rope with the balloons?
Oh, my gosh.
What up, Jorge?
Thanks for joining us, Jorge. Isn't Max looking good? He's looking healthy. He's got his little Stephen A. Green drink here, a little smoothie. That's scary. It looks like everything Gerber failed at before they actually started putting out baby food.
Yeah, well,
broccoli.
Well, no, it has been now. Wow, yeah,
It
over
has been a red dawn.
It is 60 days. We're 60 days into this. Me going to the gym or working out every day. It has definitely been a struggle to keep it up, but feeling good. Everyone who's been tuning in, it's Death to the Dad Bod this year. I just had no idea how much went into all of this.
Like Snapchatting after your.
Oh yeah, no. Follow me, Todd Maxon on Snapchat. It's funny stuff. I definitely keep the world entertained.
I'll give you that. It is funny. It does give me a laugh. It does upset me when you don't bring home the beer that you take pictures of. So I don't know if you're just drinking them all before you leave the gym.
Yes.
Just kind of counterproductive.
Sometimes I snap about 6 packs will be worth it, and I take pictures of beers.
I'm still waiting on a 6-pack of High Life.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. It's not coming? Good to know.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Trying to lay off the carbs, but dad bod is slowly but surely fading, and I do mean slowly. Sometimes the worst part about because one of the people I'm with makes you take progress photos every week, and so we're in about what is it, a week, 6 week, and
60 days should be at least 7 weeks.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
math. I don't care. but the worst part about progress photos is when you don't see the progress. And you're like, yep, still fat. Still got those love handles. For a guy who has such a hard time loving, I have so much love in my handles. It is pretty ridiculous.
I'll say it. I mean, I hope I'm in shape like that when I'm your age.
That broke my heart. For the people out there. I was at the gym.
If I could aspire to be you at your age, man, I can't wait.
Older than me, by the way. Yeah, no, it sucked. Yeah. You go to the gym, you're feeling good, you finish what you're doing, and a guy comes over to you and he goes, wow, man, that was intense. And I was like, well, thank you. And he goes, yeah, I really hope to be in your shape when I'm your age. And yeah, no, that's fucking rude. It's rude. and then I was like, well, how old are you? He's 28. That is a year older than I am. So I hate that guy. I actually had to leave the gym right after that because I couldn't handle it. I even had to work out at home today because I still didn't want to go there just in case.
Is that the snap where you were crying in front of the car?
Yes. Oh, man.
You think he's going to ask you to do cardio with him next time he sees you at the gym?
I'll smoke him. Oh, man.
All right, so what's your next step in Death to the Dad Bod? Where are you at now?
Well, yeah. Well, so now my gym partner, he now knows I'm taking this seriously, but I didn't know how serious you take these things. I'm like a chemist with my stupid shakes. I don't get it. It's like I have to now put like all these different powders. I feel like Heisenberg in there, like just creating this concoction. And so, yeah, like, it's kale, but then there's like 3 different things that are just white powders that I'm confused by. I don't even get it. All these, like, certain acids and things I don't understand. But cheers.
So basically, you're aspiring to be like John Jones. I mean, he had the white powder.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah,
I'm sure there was supplements that were tested very heavily.
I mean, I'm not.
Did that not break, bro? That broke my heart. I had so much faith for John Jones, like one of my favorite fighters. I was ready to go hands down. Like, that's the guy. He's the best. Like, I mean, respect to everybody who came before him, but you transcended the fight game, and now here you go. Don't you ever, Corey, don't come on my show with that blasphemy. Gators Championship 2018, boy, I will steer you where we sit. Look here, yeah, rep all day. Rep all day. We're talking John Jones. You're going to get me riled up, Florida. Just because y'all got Dan Mullen. I was,
Hey, Dan Mullen's
I'm excited for it.
He really makes,
makes
quarterbacks better, and he's going to be back in Florida where he belongs.
He's going to have to get a quarterback.
I mean, he knows how to make the best out of it.
Felipe Franks ain't the dude. Yeah, he had a very nice throw to beat Tennessee, but Felipe Franks ain't the dude. You know who's the dude? DeAndre Francois. If he ever gets back. And if he don't, James Black. All day, every day, ready to go. Yeah. See, you done got me flustered. I didn't even mean... My bad, Corey. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come
Corey,
at
I'm
you
about
way.
it. Yeah, that was funny.
He just likes to hate everybody. If you give him something... Say something bad about any New York team, he'll go right at you in a heartbeat. Don't let that little smirk fool you. It's actually an evil smirk. You should hear him do his laugh. His laugh is accidentally evil.
If you ever seen an evil laugh into a parfait, you've had breakfast.
He's the only person that can make that happen. It's actually maddeningly beautiful. It's like, do you enjoy the parfait or do you just enjoy watching the world crumble while eating? Could you... I could see in a mimosa on the other hand. That's just me. That's just... All right, so, but real talk. I mean, the John Jones thing. So if y'all don't know out there, John Jones lost his appeal. They have decided to unanimously uphold his 1-year suspension. They revoked his license for 1 year. And they fined him like $205,000. And he obviously lost his title, as he has twice before. And out of all the talent this man has, I don't understand it. Like he says he tested everything. It showed that he passed the drug test in early July, before he had to take the one day before his fight, which makes zero sense to me either. But I don't know. Like, what did you think of this whole situation? Like, it broke my heart. I wanted to cry with DC. I was very upset about it.
Well, in my opinion, John Jones is still the champion. I'm not saying that what he did wasn't wrong. There are rules established for a reason, and rules are constantly bent or broken. I mean, the best cheater in that sport is Brock Lesnar, and he still goes out and makes millions with the WWE whenever he wants. I mean, Brock Lesnar gets to call up whatever organization he wants when he wants money. That's the coolest part about it. And he's really never, like, USADA's never saying, nope, you're banned. He's really good at what he does. I mean, he finds loopholes in all the rules. When it comes to John Jones, I think that he really needs to understand the book. And maybe he was trying to take something that was masking it. And that's why on the next test it came up positive. Maybe the fact is that they don't want to deal with his BS anymore because they're trying to get an image for the UFC, which is a bad idea. You need the bad boys, I think, honestly. Like, let them all do it. We've had our discussions about steroids before, and I'm pro-steroid. I've been pro-steroid. I think that either I make sure it stays out or let everyone do it.
And we've had that conversation. You can't let everyone do it. Like, you can't let everyone do it because then there's no competitive edge, which means someone's just going to do more, which means someone is eventually just going to end up hurting / killing themselves.
I mean, that happens all the time.
Oh my God, that doesn't make it right if you are regulating people's lives in a sport.
We are this close to gladiators, like so close.
So bring back gladiators. I'm telling you straight up. I'm with you. I would buy season tickets if I could afford it. I would go watch every single
Imagine a Coliseum in the desert right outside of Las Vegas.
I would move to Las Vegas.
That would be so cool.
I would Roman Pierce.
We've got enough death row inmates that we could easily wait 5 years, train 3 and fight in the Coliseum.
Bring me Death Race. Bring me Gladiator. I'm about all of it. I would Roman Pierce it from Too Fast, Too Furious. I would move a trailer right outside the Coliseum, and I would be at every single battle.
Mark Cuban, when they take your franchise away.
Own the Gladiator. Oh, he'd
bring the Gladiators.
Mark Cuban would be the first statue.
Oh, my God. Imagine how, biblical that freaking Coliseum would be. Mark Cuban gets to design America's Coliseum. Forget the wall. Yeah. I want the Coliseum.
Yeah. That'd be amazing. You know what would be amazing? You can put that Coliseum in the middle of the wall, of Trump's wall, so it's America.
Yeah, no, and that door is always open, but you gotta go through the Coliseum.
That's perfect. That is wonderful. That would. I feel like that'd be the only way the majority of people would be on board with that. With the wall. Well, yeah.
Well, you'd still have your hipsters being like, I don't like violence. Well, no one told you to watch.
Get in there, fight. Yeah. If you don't want to watch My Little Pony showing reruns in about an hour, get out of here. I don't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Okay, so
hipsters notoriously like My Little Pony. I know.
They do that.
There are a lot of My Little Pony tattoos you see around.
You're really looking way too hard. They're I'm not even going to get into it. I don't even want to talk My Little Pony tattoos. Even though I can see you having a My Little Pony tramp stamp, though. I wouldn't.
Excuse me, it's a King Bomb Bomb. And secondly, My Little Pony's for the ankle.
Right above the locket.
No, it's wearing the locket. He doesn't know anything about tattoos.
Oh man! Wow, you should put that together.
If I come in last place in fantasy football this year, My Little Pony ankle tattoo with a locket on it.
Bet. I would
live on Facebook.
I would make that bet with you.
And what tattoo are you getting?
Oh, it's not the same one?
Oh, about it.
Does this count? I don't know if I want to do this.
America, right. You saw it here first.
If you come in last place,
last place.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So it's not a lose to you or okay, because
and we'll just make sure the loser has to do it anyway.
Yeah, okay. I'll just hold him down. You hold him, yeah. Corey, stick around. We are going to be talking a little bit about college football. Well, no, we're not. We're going to talk about college basketball in the second half of today's show. So if you like to stick around for that, that should be a quite interesting topic. I, however, would like to see an all-star type of game. But, why? Give them more games and they're not going to get paid?
Don't we have that, though?
Yeah, the skills showdown.
Well, we got the Senior Bowl. Yeah. We got...
not really an all-star game. I mean, you got freshmen who are better than a lot of seniors. And
I get that.
So back to the steroids thing. I honestly, with the John Jones. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it was right. Blah blah blah. If he apparently was, I don't condone it. But to me, it's not really such a big deal in MMA that he was doing it as it would be in other sports, like baseball or something. Like how the baseball thing went down and all those guys jumping in. Granted, I get it. I understand why it was a big uproar. I understand how, you can't have that going on here. And I'm not saying they should allow it, but in a sport where one, guys are literally beating up on each other, and two, it takes more than just strength to beat these guys. I mean, you're talking about knowing how to mix up your moves. You're talking about being efficient in a ground game. You're talking about switching up from punching to kicking, things of that nature. It's still a lot more. I want to say this correctly. It's still a lot more talent and technique in the thought process. That's the face I was trying to avoid.
No,
that's the face I was trying to avoid.
That is absolutely asinine.
No, wait. All right. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Maybe you'll say something that'll allow me to explain myself correctly.
So there are the concept that you need more power in baseball than you do in MMA is baffling. What you're saying is the reason why there was such an uproar more for baseball than there was for MMA is because MMA is still kind of not the big thing. I mean, MMA, when baseball steroids happened, that sport was one of the top 3 things watched in America.
Yeah.
UFC is not there. It's still not there. I mean, right now, baseball's not there.
No.
But, like, soccer's still above MMA right now.
Not somehow. That one makes
well,
sense.
you know, I mean,
it's a world sport.
Honestly,
MMA is.
You need these kind of big names like Conor, and then I honestly, like, without Conor there, I'm not watching a lot of the fights. But when it comes to, like, the technique, the baseball players, they have to scout out 7 different pitchers that they could possibly face in one game. They have to know the different fields that they're playing at, where to actually contact and hit the ball.
Right.
You don't need to take steroids to hit the ball 400 feet. All of them can pretty much do it consistently. If you go to a batting practice, even pitchers hit the ball out of the park. It's about the technique and the swing and the timing. There's so much more precision to it than steroids. The steroids has always been in baseball more about the pressure that they feel that they need to be consistently getting better than it is about what they're actually capable of doing. And steroids, I mean, if you're telling me that Brock Lesnar doesn't need steroids to hit as hard as he does because he needs the knockout, or he needs to be strong enough to hold these big men.
Guys. I got
you. Behemoths. Well, that's ridiculous. I think that it's not. I'm not saying that steroids is good and more of an advantage in UFC. I just think that you're giving it way too much.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think it's more of an advantage in baseball than it is in MMA. I'm not saying, obviously, these guys, I mean, there's so many different ways when you get up to the plate that you were trying to hit the ball. You're not always trying to hit out the park. Absolutely not. You need ground balls. You need ones right over the infield to drop in the middle of the outfield. I understand that. I understand there's technique. I've played baseball. I haven't played on their level, no way. But, I've swung a bat. I get the difference in actually batting it. But what I'm saying here is when the ball, if you are going for a home run, if you have somebody who's a designated hitter, you have somebody third in your rotation, a guy who's put up there to knock the ball out of the park, when your thought process is power, even if it's not power, once the ball hits the bat, the power in your swing has given you an advantage from that ball taking off. In MMA, Chuck Liddell taking steroids and doing a Superman punch could knock somebody out one time possibly. 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. You look at someone like John Jones. The things he's doing, he's mixing up a jab to an elbow. He's mixing up a back-spinning fist to a takedown. He's doing all these other things. If anything, in his case, the steroids is probably more like to protect himself. It's to give him an up against a guy who he probably never fight in being Brock Lesnar, but things of that nature. See what's like that's what I'm getting at.
Well, what comes for me is that yes, the technique there, yes, I understand that, but with baseball, the advantage is if a pitcher throws it 100 miles an hour and you barely need to put contact on that ball to launch that ball. The physics alone create the speed that ball is going to go out.
Right.
So you don't need to, like, Brett Gardner is Jose Altuve, the Major League Baseball MVP last year, is about 5'11". He's actually shorter than that. Sorry, I didn't mean to lie. But what he's doing is incredible, and the power that he brings is not steroid brought; it's technique.
Right,
his technique is doing it, and A-Rod bringing him up. A-Rod before steroids was a 40-40 guy with almost 40 stolen bases. He knew what he was doing. He was one of the technique hitters, and because of how he was able to slap the ball around the field no matter where the ball was, and his advantage of making sure to know when to hit the ball with power, that's what made him so good.
So why did he take steroids?
Why?
If he's already
he said when he got to the Rangers, he took steroids because of the pressure of his contract. The fear of letting people down creates this idea that I'm not saying it's not weak-minded. I've never said that A-Rod was strong-minded. With you, Corey, about the steroids in the NHL, I feel that it's more beneficial for certain positions, like the bruisers, the enforcers on the team. With the enforcers, yes, the steroids could definitely make them angrier and better at what they do.
Still can't do it.
But like the NHL also goes by whatever.
Yeah, right. There's
the NHL just wants love.
I feel like the strictest rule they had was you will not play in the Olympics this year.
and
I thought it was great.
Right.
You still have the NHL product.
Yeah, and you know what? And this is actually a momentous occasion. Talking about hockey right now.
That is the first point second time ever.
And
and they're still not more popular than the NBA or NFL.
Well, baseball has had its troubles, but it's still, with how many games in a season and with all the local markets that are loyal and how much money people don't realize their minor league affiliates bring in for those teams. That's why it's still a multi-billion dollar industry. The thing that's actually, I think, that is cool about baseball right now is that they're not just giving veterans contracts because veterans want them. I know veterans are crying about it, but you know what? Put it into your farm system. Welcome to the new age of baseball. Young guys you're not going to know the names of are going to be the new household names soon. It's tough to get over it, but all your favorite people are old and retired now. So this get off my lawn mentality, I want to see Derek Jeter back on the field. He owns a baseball team now.
He's still screwing them over.
Hey,
he's helping
Yankee forever. Yankee forever. But yeah, that would be more cheating to me than steroids if I had to say it. But when it comes to the baseball, I mean, there's so many ways that people have tried to cheat in it over the years. I mean, you may say it's not that popular now. Well, it doesn't have to be. It's been going on since the 1900s. We might not even have football in 20 years because of how quickly it's becoming unpopular for these people. That's why soccer is all of a sudden on the rise. Why NBA, the only thing that's weird is when you have a freak broken ankle. And not a freakish broken ankle. Oh snap, Gordon Hayward. Wow. No got milk commercial for him. But
how'd you have that one queued up? Was it as long as
I feel like I've done it.
Yeah, I heard that one before, episode 41. You can check it. I mean, all right, well.
But when it comes to it, I would love to, with the weight classes, I think the most impressive thing about John Jones in taking steroids is that he can maintain the weight class and hit the weight. He's never missed a cut. Because imagine Mighty Mouse taking steroids. He's not making the cut. He's not. Because the smaller weight classes, they're really tight about that weight. Well, if he's all of a sudden trying to put on that stuff, yep, pine tar. But some of that's so nitpicky. Baseball needs a whole all of a rebuild. I think it would be so cool if there were all of a sudden a BattleBots arena where there'd be all of a sudden a hydro pump would just show up and shoot people. The sprinklers turn on if you hit a certain spot. I don't know.
You know what's be a professional sport? Wipeout. That'd be amazing. I mean,
I like MXC.
Yes, I get it, but you can't make those guys. That's American Ninja War.
I want Slam Ball back,
dude. Slam Ball was amazing. I don't understand how it didn't make the cut.
Because the best athletes didn't want to do it. You didn't need them though.
Exactly. Those are the right steroids. Here's some pads, some trampolines. I want to see how high you can jump.
Honestly, it turned into NBA jams, and if we had rewarded 3 points if you do a flip into it. I'm not gonna lie. Do a jump from half court with a flip and shoot.
I remember I was probably 19 or 20, between 19 and 22 when Slam Ball was kind of taking a stride, and I remember trying to figure out how to play. I was trying to get online and find all the tryouts and stuff, and obviously it didn't work out.
A moment of silence for Spike TV, no longer with us.
Are they FXX now?
No. FXX is just FX shows that weren't popular enough for FX, which. No, Spike is just gone. Actually, Spike had a Twitter handler, the one that handled their Twitter. If you want to know what that meant, young ones out there, old ones out there.
Old ones out there. The young ones are Twitter handlers,
right? Yeah, I don't even know. But when they found out that Spike was being taken off cable and it was going to be gone and they're shutting down, went off. Look up all the tweets from this person. It was hysterical. On Spike TV, too. Not under their own handle. Under Spike TV's handle.
Nice.
It's awesome.
That's clutch. That's a smart man.
Props to you.
That's a smart man.
Or woman, I don't know.
Point. Yeah, or a woman. I don't mean to Cam Newton it. I apologize.
Assume their gender.
I 100% agree that women can tweet very well.
I know.
I've seen it done.
Yeah.
It is definitely being done as we speak.
Seen it harshly go against...
Yeah.
It's funny though.
Have you been a part of a Twitter war?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I've been tweeted about. I've definitely had someone go, "Have you seen this?" No. I don't have Twitter. Whoa. They knew I didn't have Twitter.
I won't put that dirty laundry out there. I won't even ask you about it.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
That is interesting.
Love you.
Yeah. Do you though?
Nah, not even a little.
Would you like to say anything to the people? No.
Don't watch
You good? Why? Why do so many people have vendettas against you? Do I need to watch my back? That is a question I could ask you. No. That's a lie. I can see it in your face. You're one of those people that would try to trip me and take off.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's okay. I'm not worried. I'll be so far ahead of you anyway. So, yeah. Well, we can Amin and Guillermo. We can do 100 yards.
Let us know, everyone out there. Who do you think's going to win in a race?
You're thinking because I got a little ankle problem, I can't still run.
It's a little more than that.
It's just gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt afterwards. Beat you backwards, Ricky Bobby style. Got it from Target. It's real nice. No?
Anyway.
All right. Yeah, that's that time now. We're gonna go ahead and take a short little break. We will be right back after these messages for you guys on 4th and 20 Sports, right here in WBLZ Sports, where we've got balls.
But for now, all of our lovely viewers still sticking in. We're going to continue with a little bit where we like to just continue to talk. Thank you guys. We are going to be coming at you with a few more extra live sessions where we actually want you guys to be talking with us more.
Very Corey Brown like.
We want, yes, and because as you see, we want to talk to you guys. We love you guys. You're the reason why we're honestly here all the time. I mean, I will hear myself talk, but
you do that already.
Yeah.
But absolutely, yeah. So we're looking around March 13th. It's a Tuesday. We're looking to come by. We'll spend about an hour or so. I mean, it's better, and we have nothing to do. I'm not going anywhere. We'd love to see what you guys want to talk about. You'll just find us here talking until you guys bring up something interesting. But that's coming to you guys soon. Check out YouTube page. We got all of our past videos on there, starting with episode 41. Our SoundCloud at 4th and 20 Sports, Twitter, Facebook, Apple Podcast, iTunes.
And I'm on that
WBLZ
Twitter
Sports.
as much as possible. So if you guys tweet at me, I'll tweet at you back. I have no problem going at it on any subject. Mm-hmm. And Todd Maxon, Snapchat, you got him.
You got him. I think you got. Should we?
Yeah, let's get it back onto the show.
Yeah, you about that life?
I'm about that life.
I'm about that life. We are gonna get back in 3, 2. Welcome back to 4th and 20 Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with us. You're back here with your boy, AJ Johnson, and the one, the only, Max Todd. We had just got done talking a little bit about steroids and the MMA and the baseball, and how Max is all about steroids. That's a real thing. We talked a little bit about how Max wants her to be gladiating. I'm all for that lifestyle. And now it's the time where we get to talk about one of our favorite segments.
And that is bruh. But before, Corey, my baseball preview is coming up. Now, I got the World Series prediction correct last year when I announced before spring training ended that the Astros would win the World Series and Aaron Judge would win the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So stay posted, guys. My baseball preview is coming up. I'm super excited for it because I've got a great feeling about my Yankees, but I got to really humble myself, make sure I got all the right info. But
if you'd like to see it, go check out his on 4th and 20 Sports in our video library. We have the review from last year, and it's actually scary accurate. You can also find it on our YouTube page at 4th and 20 Sports as well. It was scary accurate, even though he didn't want it to come true because his Yankees were so close. But womp womp.
Oh God, that day.
It's okay because now you have an MVP on your team again.
Anyway, bruh.
What you got, Max? Bruh it up for me.
Well, there's been a few things, like how the Yankees have been hyping up Russell Wilson. Bruh. Nobody cares about that.
Bruh. Go
on. I mean, but we've seen a lot of silly things coming out, and one thing that is always bro-worthy is my New York Knicks. My New York Knicks just can't seem to stop being the bros. It was the Giants, and now it's the Knicks. It's just insanity. I have no other than the Yankees.
Don't let it be the Yankees.
Yeah, don't let this.
It could be the Rangers too.
Yeah, well, they traded everyone away.
I like
Rangers. Yeah, well, they're not going to go to the playoffs because of it. TC, welcome. But
Go ahead, Max.
But my bruh goes out to the Knicks. We played the Warriors, and it seems that we love to build ourselves up to tear ourselves down. But my favorite bruh of this game was JaVale McGee gets a loose ball and does a fadeaway jumper that went in from about, 15,
16 to 17 feet, yeah. It was pretty. Kobe style.
It was a good, and I swear, it was as if me and Jon Stewart were linked. Because I was like, hands on my head, mouth gaping. I couldn't believe it. I almost grew as much gray hair at that moment as he does. It blew my mind. JaVale McGee couldn't do that if he tried. I would believe he could practice that shot 15 times in a row and go 0 for 15. That shot I can't believe it went in. Unbelievable. But you know what? The best part, the biggest bra of it all was not just Jon Stewart's face, but later that day with JaVale McGee, who's honestly a great internet person. He's a perfect troll for his size. He changed his profile pic to the Jon Stewart, oh my God, face. And 2 claps for you, JaVale, because, bruh, that was pretty funny.
It's a good bruh. I mean, that's a good bruh. Normally we're just like, what are you doing, bro? That's like...
I'm usually very hostile with my bruh.
I'm not even going to pull any punches. That's very true. That's very true. My bruh... Not so much. Not so nice. Not so great. Bruh. The NFL. They honestly never cease to amaze me, whether it be good, whether it be bad. The catch 88, TC. That's what the catch 88. That's what we're doing. Bruh. So after this debacle of a year for NFL, where your refs don't know what to catch, don't know what is a catch, they have unanimously decided that the Dez Bryant catch, in fact, was a catch. Dez Bryant, that was a catch. Throw the X up, baby. We understand. That was a catch. The NFL finally caught on the bandwagon of the rest of the entire world who's ever watched a football game. This finds it funny because I would love to know what they're going to do with this. Are they going back and adding a reception to his stats? Because
not a touchdown.
Not a touchdown, right? Because, very much like the Louisville Championship in 2013, I saw the Cowboys lose that playoff game because Dez Bryant did not catch that ball. But now they understand that when a guy catches the ball and takes 2 steps and lunges towards the end zone and the ball pops out across the plane, it was probably a catch. It was probably a catch. But now, it was a catch. Dez Bryant, I would love to know how you feel. If you would like to tune in, tweet at us.
He doesn't know how to feel. He's about to be traded. Bruh. My favorite part about this is that they let the Giants owner. The Giants owner was the one that got to say, "Oh yeah, no, that was a catch." As if he looked at the camera office style,
yeah,
sucks. For you, talk about the worst 2-minute report of all freaking time. Unbelievable,
bruh. I can't. It took a year like we just had where almost every game
better than Dez Bryant. Yes, 100%. Not even 75.
That wasn't even. Yeah, what?
Sorry, had to answer answer that question. That wasn't even a question. There's no mark there. That was a statement and a correct one.
Yeah, to say it the other way would be a reach.
Yeah. Who you drafted first in your fantasy draft?
Dez Bryant.
No,
first overall.
Can't wait for that tattoo on your ankle.
Yeah, it took Jesse James and the Steelers losing a game to the Patriots. It took Kelvin Benjamin taking 2 steps inbounds and losing a game to the Patriots. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't get this rule correct after Golden Tate and the Packers came down with the unanimous catch and didn't understand how to handle that one. Like, so I'm glad they're fine. I'm interested to see what the wording is going to be on how they're going to try to fix this catch rule. I bet they.
That was their catch. No.
I bet they dropped the ball on this one.
No. Punch.
See, I didn't cue that one up. I had it. That was off the dome. Top stop. For the 20 Sports back here on WBLZ Sports. That was our bro segment of the week. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to get into something that everyone's been talking about, but we're going to have a different take on it coming up in this segment. The theme of the day is corruption. Yeah. And now, we are going to talk about the NCAA and all its glory. All of it. Every little bit of it. Kind of like how multiple basketball players were noted to have received money and loans while they were in high school. How they've named over, 50 players at least now. Schools such as Duke and Alabama and Kentucky and Texas. You know, the ones that try to be good every single year and have great players. All of them listed in this Yahoo Sports.
Arizona.
That's stupid. Was it Arizona State?
Okay.
Maybe, who cares? Because if it was Arizona, that would make sense. Arizona actually is pretty good. Year in and year out, actually.
I thought it was Arizona, is it not?
I thought it was Arizona State. I thought I was watching the game the other day where they lost to Oregon because they were missing their coach.
Was it Arizona State?
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona was mentioned in these reports. Yeah, I mean, there's been players like Dennis Smith Jr. was reportedly given like $73,000. Kyle Lowry was mentioned for when he was back in college. He apparently got like up to $6,000. Markelle Fultz got $10,000. Hasn't even played a game in the NBA. And the funny part was the agency that gave these guys money
didn't even get to represent them.
They didn't even sign with them.
Honestly, the worst part about this is poor Andy Miller. Where are you getting this money? Yeah, like why are you doing it? But it's also, you think about this stuff. I mean, 73,000. That's a good size. That's a good amount. Hey, honestly, the Gators might have a chance in this NCAA tournament if they kick out 7 teams.
Yeah.
Because
they always make the Elite Eight and let you down. Trust me, I'm from Gainesville. I know how.
But like 10,000, 9,000, 6,000 in comparison to really what these schools are making, what the NCAA is making. And they're not even giving this money. They're not losing this money from the earnings of the NCAA. In fact, they're making good money off of them because they're being paid to be in college.
Right. Like so
what the real problem is that there's money out there that the NCAA can't get their greedy little hands on. And that's their issue with it. It's not that these kids are playing. I mean, the idea of amateurism is so dead that we need to be paying these kids.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. I mean, I've been on the record. I think the NCAA has created more convicts than it has professionals. We've watched plenty of kids go in with the promises of hopes and dreams of being a professional and given a scholarship, and then they get injured and lose it. Some schools are not cool about it, and they take away the scholarship and go, now pay to be in school or go home and work at
a great life.
Be a bouncer somewhere.
And I mean, and they're so nitpicky too. It's like they literally try to have their fingers in every single one of these athletes' lives. I mean, a lot of the stuff on the report as well, where they were upset about, meeting with an agent but having dinner, right? So you're an agent.
You can have the dinner,
but hey, you got to pay for it.
You got to pick up the bill. You got to pick it up.
But how do they expect to do it? They don't even allow a lot of these kids to have jobs. Like, so we pay for your school, and now you have to sit at home and study your playbook, and that's it. Like, don't have a life.
Working at the smoothie shack
they can't do any of it. Yeah. They're not allowed to do any of it. And I don't understand how they expect.
And where would they have the time if they also expect them to go to class? Which they don't. Most of them.
I mean, and then in a lot of cases, too, I know this basically has been basketball, where you're talking about a lot of kids, and the fact of the matter, who've come from really, really bad upbringings. Never had much. Like, they
to bring their families with them.
Right. And so they're not allowed to do anything for an additional 4 years, and not even be able to be home and support that family, because you have to be away at college hoping to better your family, and then something, like an injury happens, and now you're stuck back and nothing ever went down. You got no credit for what you were able to do. You saw nothing from it, and a big part of your life is gone. I don't.
And the resentment, and then the negative things, and the idea of all I was ready to do was be an athlete.
Yeah.
And now that's taken from me.
Boogie Miles in the movie Friday Night Lights.
Honestly,
great,
running through my mind.
Great movie. That scene when he comes out of the hospital, like, amazing.
The kid from Accepted who had to started doing architect, arts and crafts,
carpentry.
He was going to be a big player.
Great.
and then there you go.
Columbus short. But yeah, so this is how, if you had an idea of how to fix this, what would your thought process be?
Oh, do I? It's time for us to end this amateurism. Like, if the Olympics don't think it's important, why does the NCAA have to? And I think what we can do is come up with a solution that can actually benefit everybody. It can make the sport more competitive, and it can actually bring recruits more widespread and give the capability of kids to stay in school and be coached. We have too many one-and-dones, people going over to Europe just to come back after 1 year, and they got their little boy bodies. We need more men in the NBA.
Yeah,
we got to stop seeing these bird-chested kids who haven't hit a weight room properly, who haven't had a proper eating regimen or a weight coach.
Kevin Durant couldn't even bench his own weight when he came in.
And you know what? And look at him now, and look at him when he came in. He's a monster now. Him and the Warriors compared to him on the Sonics when he first came out. Throwback. But so here's my solution. It is time for a salary cap. Now, I'm saying that with a salary cap, for the ones that you know are one and done, they can get that high value because they're getting that 1 year max contract. But then you got role players, you got value players, you got players that are going to be there and develop with you. Those guys get a stipend because there's a certain amount of money. But now you can't have a Fab 5 Michigan team or a Kentucky team, or only have 3 teams that you're looking at going into the tournament hoping to see upsets. I get it, upsets are a big part of this, but that doesn't mean that, but then the coaches actually can get the credit. I'm tired of hearing about how great Mike Krzyzewski is as a coach when I'm looking at him with the 6 of the top recruits every year. Like where Kentucky all of a sudden is, because they're known as the one and dones, where they're getting like the 7 best players after Duke. Like UNC, I'm tired of the Blue Bloods owning all of this and us giving all the credit to these guys when all they're really good at is saying they're at Duke or saying they're at Kentucky. Because if we really, because I think the Texas coach, if he was given the ability to say that he was from UNC, he'd be coaching an amazing team because he's a great coach.
Yeah.
When you look at even what people like to say about Florida State, the Florida State coach isn't bad. They never have the talent. I feel like, twice in the last 10 years, they've had a top talent in the draft.
We've had 2 one-and-dones in the last 3 years, and then after that.
But if everyone got to have that ability, and so and you actually had to do the salary cap, and there might be that kid who's amazing, who stays 2 years because he needs that money and not sure what he's going to develop into if he just goes into the NBA. He could get 2 or 3 years out of college, 4 years even, and graduate and do his degrees. And with those contracts that they'd be getting, there's still stipulations, like every contract. You violate a rule, you lose money. You don't have the GPA, you lose money. The kids can actually value that. See, when they're in school, like Ben Simmons, as his one done year, everyone knew he was going to the NBA. Nobody even cared that LSU didn't make the tournament. He was still number 1 overall. Well, you know what? He didn't go to a single class. He didn't do any of it. He's talked about how he didn't care about school. Why not? Because there wasn't a real punishment because he wasn't going to care. Yeah. He wasn't getting paid. He was getting a free room and board to show that he can play with American kids and then go right into the NBA. It didn't make sense why he would actually care about going to LSU classes. And so if he had to maintain a GPA to get money, might motivate him a little different. Money is a great motivator. It's always been. Saying that you're getting an education, that doesn't matter to a guy who's only there and the only classes he's going to take is Intro to Humanities. That's not a class that he has to care about.
All right. So, a couple things. I like the idea in a whole because I live with the one and done rule. I definitely believe the point you made about kids wanting to stay a little bit more because you're going to get a little bit more money earlier and you'll get developed. Obviously, there's stipulations that need to be in place. One thing I take away, I still don't take it away from the coaches. And I know you're not saying they're bad coaches, but I'm not taking away from Coach K. I'm not taking away from Calipari because you're still bringing in kids who don't really know the game. They are great talent. Now you have to learn to harness that talent. So, I mean, if there was a coach that was intricate to a player's game, it's probably the college coach. Of course, some players just have that talent. LeBron James, blah, 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 blah. Now, what I have to say, though, is what I think is detrimental to this system is what about the kids who go for the education but want to play at this place? Now, I know you said some players are role players, are going to make less money. But I mean, if you have a salary cap and you reach that cap, now this kid's just left out on the outside when this is the place he wants to go to school. This is the place where he wants to do his learning.
If he wants to go to school, he's going to school there.
But he wants to play basketball.
Well, that's too bad. He can play basketball intramural. He can walk on and try to get a contract. If he's that good, he's going to get one. I'm sorry. You don't always make the team. Sometimes you're a loser no matter what you want. Sometimes I always wanted to be a great baseball player. Guess what? I can't. I'm not good enough. I wasn't ever good enough. I wasn't going to pretend that I was going to be. I actually understand sometimes you're not good. And if that's really, I want to go to Duke and I really want to go to Duke where there's some of the best basketball players and they have a salary cap and I didn't make the cut on the team so I don't get to be on it and get paid, too freaking bad. You lost, kid. Come back next year and walk on again and maybe you get the contract. I have no sympathy for people that aren't good enough to be a professional athlete.
I'm not saying anything about them not being good enough.
Well, why do I care about that kid?
Why wouldn't you? I mean, a lot of these kids are the guys that become the bread and butter of a team. You're talking about, all right, so you're talking about
We're talking about the kids that do the celebrations on the bench.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're talking about the kids like in Monmouth who
I'm talking about like
May.
I'm talking about like what's the kid's name? May from hit the game winner last year from North Carolina. I'm talking about guys like what Kevin Ware basically. He wasn't the guy. He was close. He was up there. He was a good player. I'm talking about the guys. I'm talking about the guys that these coaches and the scouts are already going out to find to be able to give contract or scholarships that sit at seat 7, seat at seat 8. But if you have a salary cap, it diminishes the amount of recruiting you're going to be able to do automatically. If you have a salary cap, it diminishes the amount of like players that you are bringing in.
I think it gives more of an option for certain. Like if your goal is to be the main guy at a school, then your goal is to play in the NBA. If your goal is to go to a school and hope to play basketball there, then you're not.
My goal is to go to this school because I got a basketball talent, but I choose this school because it has a field that I'm interested in. It has.
Well, that's what you have to do.
No, okay. I'm talking about players. Like, for instance, Brandon Spikes, when he was at Florida, a football player, he also had a musical theater degree because it was something he enjoyed doing. Kyrie, musical theater degree. It's something he enjoyed doing. These are things that kids need to learn. These are talents that they need to learn for after their careers. I mean, I'm not trying to go into the NBA.
Musical theater degree was what he needed to learn.
I'm just giving an idea. I'm sorry, I don't know how many people were engineers. I apologize. What's the dude's name who was on the... he's a professional football player now. He was a lineman and he's a doctor. Like
no, he retired because of all the concussions.
Yes, that guy. Things like that. Because I can go to the NBA at 19 years old, and sure I can have a broadcasting career afterwards. But like I'm talking about being in college, the institute of what I want to study. I shouldn't have to sacrifice playing basketball just because I wanted to also learn this.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes.
No, you don't.
You're glorifying something that doesn't need to be. You're making something up that's
glorifying an education.
You're glorifying the dream of getting to play at your physical education you want. That's a dream. Everything doesn't work out like a Lifetime movie. And if we're really just trying to glorify it so that it happens, I mean, this has happened before though at schools where kids have gotten scholarships to go to certain schools, but they wanted to play football at Ohio State. And so they walked on and they made things a walk on and eventually got their scholarship. Want to know why? Because they worked hard enough and were good enough even though they weren't recruited. But the thing is, you can't fault the recruiting. You can't fault scouting for a school not wanting you to be on their team. You can try and walk on and beat out the other 3 bench players, but you have to be good enough. You can't just be like, I also want to be a computer engineer, but basketball is my dream. What is it then? Do you want to be a computer engineer and play basketball at a school with a lesser program because they want you? Or do you want to be a computer engineer and hope for the opportunity to play basketball?
You can do that.
You could if you're good enough, and most of them aren't. Tough. That's life, kids. I would say better chances with a computer engineer. The market doesn't die. You might only have 3 years in the NBA if you're struggling to get onto one of those teams. You really think you're going to do well in the NBA? And by your sophomore or junior year, maybe
they don't have to be struggling players. I'm not talking about the guy who was the water boy in high school, man.
There are so many schools that if you want to play basketball, you could probably do it. But if you're not great, if you're not elite, then don't expect to have whatever option or choice you want. There's always going to be about 7 people every year that people want, and that's fine. Those kids are going to be one and dones, and they're going to get the big money. That you're not. The salary cap means that there is money, but there's only 12 spots, maybe more, 15 in college. Be good enough for the 15, and the 15th doesn't get a lot of money, but it still gets money, and you're at the school you want. But you gotta be good enough to be at least the 15th best player on your team, and if you're not, then look in the mirror and realize. Study for your computer engineering degree. Or your musical theater degree, Kyrie.
Hater. You don't gotta say
realist.
You don't gotta say musical theater that way. I mean,
I was a theater design major.
You don't have to say musical theater that way. That's all I said. I said it was such.
Do I need snaps?
Just saying it. No, I was thinking more of the flash dance.
Jazz hands don't go over well on the microphone.
These. I hate myself because of these. Welcome. We are just doing spirit fingers for those of you watching at home. All right. That's fair. 4th and 20 sports. NCAA is corrupt, is what people are saying. We agree in a way.
Well, what's funny is that
I do like your salary cap idea. I do want to put that out there. I think it's a great fix. I just think like anything else, there's flaws.
Hey, there's always going to be cracks in the wall. It just depends on which wall's letting through.
Not with flex glue. Sorry.
Flex seal.
No, there's flex glue too. There's flex seal, flex shop, flex glue. I own the entire collection. I don't, but I'm really.
I was about to say, man.
We sawed this boat in half.
Dude, the amount of those poor boats. That circular saw has gone through hell. Man, that thing's cut up too many boats.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I could help.
This is how we're gonna end the show. We're gonna do some infomercial kind of stuff in Jason's. Be better than the 15th kid.
I mean, okay.
I knew I wasn't good enough.
You could have anywhere there in baseball? How many spots? Total? Not.
Oh, there's a good amount.
In college?
Oh, there's a really good amount in college. Yeah,
Like
but I was also not even good enough for high school.
But
I remember. I'll never forget when I was probably 9 years old, something like that, and I was like, I'm gonna be second baseman for the Yankees, and I'll never forget when my stepdad looked down at me and went, "No, you're not." So, thank you.
Now we get to the bottom of it. This is where he's coming from. 16th kid. Your dad should have told you no.
Yeah, you should have learned.
You can't pursue the happiness Will Smith did. Don't ever let anyone tell you can't do anything. Because right now I'm going to tell you you're not going to do that. You are going to
wrong burn because there were too many lawyers and not enough firemen. It's okay not to be one of these elite kind of positions. It's okay to build things and do things with your hand. We can't have a foundation for things to stand on if we aren't the foundation for it.
And let's be real. We do need a lot of Uber drivers.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Chris Rock's Tamarine stand up,
do it. It's no bigger, better, blacker, but
it's like
it's definitely solid.
It's funny.
He's 100%. Old.
Yeah.
But
so was Dave Chappelle. He killed it.
But George Carlin always said, no one ever told these kids that they can lose. We have too many kids that get ribbons for special participating. You're not
showing
special.
For bringing the water. Hey, here's our blue.
You're not Zion Williams.
Actually, one of my favorite commercials was that one where the kid got the participation trophy and his dad ripped it off and just like, well, he wrote champion, so take that away. But
there was a football player whose kid came home with a participation trophy and he took it and threw it away.
Yeah.
The next year he posted his kid with a first place trophy. Want to know why? Because he taught him the value of losing.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to lose, you definitely won't appreciate winning ever.
Ever. I mean, that's stupid. I gotta let it go on that. Say it one more time.
What are we talking?
Corruption in the NCAA, right?
Yeah. Patino is the worst part about this. Because Patino where he kept all the money.
He did.
He was like, hookers and money. Hookers and money. He didn't even give the hookers money. That's why they wanted him. Patino, you vampire!
Adidas should bring that man on board and give him the keys to the building. Like he should run Adidas. Like, I would be on that.
In 600 years, when he's still walking the earth,
he'll probably run.
He will be running Adidas because we just have to forget about him a little bit.
1, 2.
I wonder if he has a better laugh than I do. I bet he has a pretty
100%.
solid evil laugh.
It probably goes like 2 slaps. Dave Chappelle. No, never had it? Okay. You'll get there. Sesame Street joke.
I ain't got the Sesame Street joke.
Counts a pimp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. You'll get there.
I love that episode.
Oh, okay.
Snoop Dogg. And then Charlie Murphy is the trash monster. Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of a different
I'm thinking about his stand-up. He had a stand-up. Dave Chappelle's an earlier stand-up, like when he was killing it.
He also had his.
I think it was called "Killing Me Softly."
Yeah, he had. That was where the Oscar the Grouch joke was. I live in a trash can. Censored.
Yes. Oh, look at you.
Trying. That's 2 weeks in a row, man.
We'll fix that problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's got to do it for us today. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here on 4th and 20 Sports. Again, we're coming to you soon with some live interaction with our fan videos. Look out for that coming in early March. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, iTunes. Like WBLZ Sports. Like it all. And the more you do, the more we'll do. Get at him on Twitter. He likes to make fun of people. If you can make fun of him better than the rest of the world, I'll give you an applause. Other than that...
You think I haven't heard it yet?
Way to size up the camera, bro. Thank you guys so much. I've been AJ.
And I'm Max.
Peace.